Good morning, Modern Steaders.
Good morning.
We're back up here at the off-grid property, and we got quite a mess up here, but you got to make it look worse before you can make it look better, and that's the stage we're at.
That looks good.
No, I'm just saying right behind you.
Oh yeah.
We got the mess there, and then our rocks for if we need to build a rock wall somewhere or something else we can do, and we're saving them aside. We just need to keep going that way. That sun is out. It feels good. All right, let's get the old Bobcat warming up. And then we can start working in here some more, and then we can cut as we need. It's nice having the mini excavator here because this was all overgrown, brushy, and just unlevel. So it's nice to be able to work our way in as we go, flatten it off, get all the little stuff out, and then we can go and we can cut. And it's a little bit safer for us and easier walking. At our house this morning, and I was hoping we had it here for all the pasture that we planted, but it's pretty dry here still, so maybe the rain coming this afternoon we'll get that here. Heavy equipment operator. I have a lot to learn, and the machine being jerky and bouncing around a lot, that's me not being super smooth with the controls. We're gonna get better at it. We're gonna cut down some trees before we go any further.
All the way over there.
All these little trees are time consuming, but we don't want to just bury them or run them over. We want to get a brush pile going so we can chip the brush and then save the little pieces for firewood. We're gonna have to put the camera away for a little while because it is starting to overheat because the sun is so hot today. It's got a warning label saying it's too hot, so I'll put this camera away and take out the GoPro. Let you cool down a little bit. So while the camera was cooling down, we had quite a few more trees down here cut and out. Now we gotta start working this way. And I wanna move some of this stuff too and just start working in here more, and then we can keep going back that way because we wanna leave the bigger trees right here, but I wanna take out the little ones, so I wanna try to get in and then behind and clean up behind the container and then get some more over this way opened up, kind of like straight back here like a rectangle, and then shoot over that way. It's looking good. Be nice to get this all nice and smooth. One main or one continuous, flawless, smooth transition. That's the word I was looking for. A nice transition. I couldn't believe how big that rock was. Sticking up was just a tiny little thing, and then I was expecting maybe it to be this big, not that big. And that was a good sized one. But it'd be nice to get down in here, smoothed out. I'm thinking if we cut these two trees down, one's an ash and one's a maple. Or are they both ashes? No, they're both ashes. Cut those two down, get that out. Then we can level it off down here a little bit better. And get this smoothed up over here. And then I might make a little bit of a ditch so if it rains, we don't get water coming to, when it rains, we don't get water coming to the container. We'll have a ditch going this way and carrying it down that way. And then we can clean it back up over here. And I'd like to make some awnings for the container over the windows. But a lot of these trees I want to leave. I just want to open it up, thin it out, and we can have a nice little seating area somewhere. I want to have a nice little picnic area and a fire pit down here somewhere. But man, it's changing so much. Looking good. Yeah. Good morning, Modern Steaders. It's a nice chilly 53 degrees out this morning before we head back up to the off-grid property to continue working on the off-grid cabin area. We need to feed our meat birds, take care of them, move them to fresh pasture. I haven't shown you the meat birds since we've moved these guys out on fresh pasture. They are huge. Look at them. Every time we show our meat birds on pasture in these little tractors, everybody says they're too small of a tractor for them. They're all bunched together. The chickens are all bunched together and they have lots of room behind them. They just always stay bunched together. It doesn't matter if their pens were twice as big. They'd be on top of each other. They're like a herd animal. They like to stay on top of each other. So they have plenty of room. They get moved twice a day. They have fresh grass, plenty of feed, plenty of water. And they are growing fast. Let's get these guys fed and watered. So these are our first batch of meat birds we've got for the year. The next batch will be coming out on pasture soon. Just want them to get a little bit bigger and more feathers because we still get chilly mornings here on the homestead. We've had a few 40-degree mornings this week. IBC tote is working perfect so far. The cover is keeping all the algae out. It's nice having water out here in the pasture. You want some? Oh yeah. Is that some good chicken water? I guess so. Pluto approves. Thirsty or what, girl? Sheesh. Is that better than your water in the house? Alright, we're gonna go take care of the other animals. We'll meet you up at the off-grid property. It's pretty chilly here today at the off-grid property. I bet once that sun comes out though, it's gonna warm up. I wanna stop back here cutting down this set of trees because we got a large hump right here. Maybe some of these smaller groups, and then just clean this out just a little bit so a little bit more sun can get in. And then we can just open this up some more. I'm hoping by getting more sun in here, the bugs won't be so bad right in this area. They're not bad out here where the sun can get in. I think right here, because it's kind of shaded, it gets a little bit more buggier. So we'll get this cleaned up and then we can get on with the next phase. For Christmas, I ended up getting this new Husqvarna 555 chainsaw. This has been the first time we've used it up here in the last few videos, and it's been working really good. And my chainsaw in the first video just stopped working. And instead of trying to mess around with it, I just whipped out the new one. And we're really liking it. I'm really liking it. See if we can get this one to fall in the same place the last one did. This one's got a little bit of a lean backwards. Kind of thought that was going to happen. That's why I made sure I stayed clear, but the tree had a big lean that way, but I wanted it to go this way because it would have been easier to clean it up. But going that way wasn't the end of the world.
crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life is just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business, 'cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from. Everybody knows my name. All my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Yeah, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life. Tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knew my name, and all my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life. Oh Lord, you can keep your 9 to 5.
Getting it pretty good in here. Before it was a weird grade. Oops. Before it was a weird grade. It kind of like came here, humped up, and then water would pool right here. So I got it graded so it will be down and it'll run. And I made a little bit of a ditch just so it can dry out in here. It's damp and slimy, but it's gravel underneath. So I think it's just from all the, it just hasn't had a chance to dry out with the grade. It was kind of all funky before. So gonna have to call this good right here, let it dry out a little bit. Because it's got a good rough grade, but I just keep messing everything up with it being so slimy. So we're gonna get out of this area. I'm gonna bring the stumps up and out with me, and then that'll be good for now. And then later on, we can come back down here with the rake and clean this up really nice and then get some grass down. It's made quite a bit of a difference just doing that little bit of work. I guess I shouldn't say little bit of work. It's taken quite a few hours just to get this little area cleaned up. There was a lot of rocks spread throughout here, and they take a little bit of time to pick them up. I know before I said the fuel gauge in the Bobcat wasn't working, but it's working now. Must be after I drove it down the road. It really shook it up and got the fuel sending unit unstuck. So we've used, it says 1/4 of a tank on it so far. I figure we'll fuel it up today and we'll see how much fuel it takes. For all I know, the fuel gauge could be sticking the other direction now. I know I'm gonna get a hard time again because I'm not using off-road fuel for diesel fuel. Our local gas stations around here don't have off-road fuel readily available. So to get off-road fuel, I have to go out of my way and take a lot more time. So that's why I use on-road fuel. There we go. Filled right to the top. The real question now is, does the fuel gauge stay full? Nope, says 1/4 of a tank. Not sure, maybe when we're using it tomorrow, it'll go back to staying full. I'll let you know in the next video.
So tonight I'm gonna do zucchini boats, and I'm gonna be using leftover chicken, and then I have some sauce that needs to be used up, and then I like to use the inside of the zucchini. So I have 4 zucchinis about the same size here, and that's what I'm gonna use for the zucchini boats. And I cook a lot because it's good for a leftover lunch. Olivia really loves zucchini boats. I love them too. Right down the middle, best I can. I'm just gonna get this going for a few minutes just to get that cooked. And then I will go ahead and add the zucchini inside that I just put in a food processor. Chop up some chicken, tomato sauce, some salt and pepper, whatever you want. I'm gonna add some garlic powder and some onion powder. You could even put fresh garlic or onion in there. The oven is preheated at 375, so once I get these filled, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in, and it'll probably take about an hour because the zucchinis take a little bit to cook. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get these filled up.
Dear Lord, thank you for the day. It's nice being able to get the mini excavator to work, making some progress down at the off-grid shipping container cabin. Can't wait to have this all cleaned up. We can stop making a little camping area down here. If you guys have any recommendations on what we should be doing down here for like a fire pit and then a little seating area, leave it in the comments down below. Gina's zucchini boats were delicious. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey with us. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres. Bye.